Today, we're going to talk about easy car maintenance tasks that you'll regret not doing yourself. These are simple fixes that anyone can do to save money in the long run and extend the life of your car. Let's start with an easy one. When you turn on your windshield wipers, if they aren't wiping your windows clean, it's usually a sign that the wiper blades need changing. The good news is that wiper blades are very easy to replace. First, measure the wiper blades. Keep in mind that the left and right wiper blade can be different lengths. So, you'll want to measure both the left and right blades. Then buy replacement blades at your local automotive supply store, or if you're cheap like me, buy them online. There are lots of economy blades available, but it's best to go with a reliable brand since they have high quality rubber blades that perform better, have better UV protection, and simply last longer. Next, you need to remove the old wiper blades. To do this, pull the wiper arm away from the glass. It's a good practice to double up a towel over the windshield. In case the wiper arm slips out of your hands, it snaps back into the glass, which can crack the windshield. Once the lever has been pulled back, pivot or rotate the blade so that the bottom of the blade flips up towards the top. Usually, you'll see small shiny retaining clips near the end of the blade. Squeeze them together with a long nose plier and start sliding out the refill. Once the clips slide under the blade clamp, put down the pliers and pull out the old refill with one hand while holding the blade with your other hand. Typically, you insert the new replacement wiper blades into the same end from which you remove the old one. Slide in the refill until the retaining clip clicks into place. Make sure the new replacement blade is held between each clamp. Otherwise, it can scratch your windshield. Also, be sure that the retaining clip clicks into position in the last clamp. Then gently pivot the arm back into position and softly release the arm. Another maintenance task you can do on your own is shaking your PCV valve if your car has one. Basically, it's a valve for the positive crankcase ventilation system. It is a one-way valve. The crankcase contains engine oil and is located at the bottom of the engine. The PCV valve releases gases when your engine burns fuel. If your valve gets clogged or malfunctions, it can cause sludge to form, which will damage the engine. Also, a faulty valve will create excessive pressure, which can cause oil to leak through the gaskets and seals. Usually you can find the valve on top of the engine connected to a vacuum hose. Slide the hose off the valve and unscrew it. Now it's time to do a simple diagnostic. You can't go by looks alone because all used PCV valves look dirty. The trick is to use your ears. You want to shake the valve. If you hear a metallic clicking sound, it's good, but if it doesn't make any noise or sounds mushy, then you should replace it. Another easy maintenance task is to inspect the engine air filter and replace if needed. Simply unscrew or unclip the air filter box retainers and remove the old filter. A new filter is usually white and it gets darker with use. So you'll want to put a light behind the filter to see how much light is passing through it. One rule of thumb is if the filter blocks at least 50% of the light, then it's time to replace the filter. If you haven't seen my video on engine air filters and why they're important, then check it out. What about the cabin air filter? Replacing that can save you $30 to $70. If your cabin air filter gets clogged, it can damage the blower motor and cause your AC to run longer and harder. Additionally, a clean cabin air filter helps protect you and your passenger from contaminants in the air. Standard recommendation is that you replace the cabin air filter every 12 to 15,000 miles or once a year. In late model cars, cabin air filters are usually located in the air ducts behind the glove box, but some car makers put them in the cowling or console area. You can refer to your owner's manual if you can't find it. So first, open the glove box and unscrew the hinges if it's inside there. Then press down on the glove box on both sides and tilt it down. Then pull the glove box free to access the filter tray. Slide out the filter tray and old air filter. Now you're ready to install a new filter. Pay attention to the direction of the airflow arrows on the filter so you can install it in the correct direction. Once installed, put the glove box cover back in place and you're all done. So, you know the lift that holds up the hoods, trucks, or rear hatches? The gas lifts can get problematic, especially in cold weather. First, buy a new pair from your local auto parts store. I recommend that you change them in pairs, even if only one is faulty. You'll need a friend to help keep the hood up, or you can buy a lift support clamp. But don't use a 2x4 to hold the hatch open. It's not safe. Most gas lifts you can unscrew with just a screwdriver. Others are connected with a swivel joint held in place by a spring clip. To release the spring clip, insert a small flat blade screwdriver between the clip and the cylinder. Then remove the cylinder from the ball pin and simply follow the same procedure with the bottom connection. To install the new gas lift, simply do everything in reverse order. Did you know that it's easy to replace non-headlight bulbs? That includes side marker and fog light bulbs. Just remove the retaining screws and pry off the lens. Pull the old bulb out of the socket. Now you want to put on clean gloves to grab the new bulb, or you can hold the bulb with a paper towel. The reason for this is because you don't want to get your skin oil on a new bulb. The residue will cause premature bulb failure by the oil heating up and causing hot spots. So now insert the new bulb into place. You usually hear a click sound, then reinstall the lens. That's it. You can repair most antennas for under $20 and it's rather easy to replace. Most car antennas are either pillar mounts, which slide in and out of the top of the door pillars, or fixed masts, which are non-retractable ones that are mounted on fenders. Fixed mast antennas are easy to replace. Just unscrew the mast with a wrench. Install the new mast. You might need to install an adapter to match the thread size. Disconnect the antenna cable from the radio and connect the heavy string to the end. Now unscrew the antenna mount from the pillar. Pull out the old antenna and the string. Attach the new antenna clip to the string and pull the cable back to the car and connect it to your radio. Secure the new antenna to the pillar using the screw. It's inevitable at some point you'll see spots on your car paint where the paint is chipped off. If you don't cover up the paint chips, eventually they'll rust and create larger problems. The touch-up paint is easy. You want to buy touch-up paint, fine tip paint applicators, and wax and grease remover. First, you'll want to clean the area of the chipped paint. You can do that with the wax and grease removers and let it dry. Next, dip the applicator in the paint and dab it onto the chipped area. Dab it, but don't add too much. Otherwise, the paint will drip down. Let it dry fully. After 30 days, apply wax on top. Ever patch a wall at home? If you know how to do that, you can easily patch a dent in your car. The supplies you need are a variety of sandpaper, grits, wax, and grease removers, a small can of auto body filler and cream paste, and plastic applicators. First, use coarse grit sandpaper to sand the dent down to bare metal. Be sure to softly feather the edges because you don't want sharp edges. Next, clean the dents with wax and grease remover. Then mix the body filler. Apply a very light skim coat to fill in the sandpaper scratches you made. Let the filler set up. Then build up with additional layers. Each layer should be less than 1/4 of an inch per application. You should feather the final coat so it gradually levels with the rest of the car. After the paint cures, sand the surface till it's smooth. Apply the cream filler to fill in any tiny pinholes. Let the cream filler cure. Then do one final light sand. Now you're ready to paint the area with touch-up paint. Sunroofs are nice to have, but when the sunroof starts leaking, it can quickly turn into a nightmare. Most sunroof leaks can be resolved by clearing a clogged drain tube with a vacuum. That's right, the sunroof has drains in it. Start by opening the sunroof. Look for drain holes in the front and rear corners. Duct tape a small rubber or plastic tube to the end of your vacuum and suck the debris out in the drain. Next, you want to pour a bit of water in each drain to check whether it's working now. If it's all cleared out and working, you should see water on your driveway or garage floor. Let's say you don't see water underneath because the drain's still clogged. You can buy a speedometer cable, insert the cable into the drain and gently push it as you spin the cable with your fingers. But you need to do this gently, otherwise you might puncture the drain tubes, which means you'll be getting water in your dashboard. Afterwards, by flushing the drain again, if it runs clearly, you shouldn't have any more leaks from the sunroof. Shops can charge $200 to fix tears in your leather or vinyl seats, but it's something you can do yourself in a few hours. You need a vinyl and leather repair kit from the local store. First, you'll want a glue reinforcing fabric in the underside of the torn leather or vinyl. Now cut backing fabric so it extends at least half an inch under the tear. Stick it in place and let it dry according to the instruction provided in your kit. Then mix the heat set color filler and try to match the color as closely as possible. You can take your time here with a color match. Apply just enough of the filler to fill the hole. Next, cover it with the textured mat from the kit and heat with a clothes iron. Let it cool before removing the mat. You may not get the exact color or look of the vinyl or leather, but it's far better than having a hole in your seat. Did you know you can change your own power steering fluid? You want to look at your original car manufacturer's recommended guideline. Typically, the rule is every 2 years or 24,000 miles. First, make sure the engine is turned off. Suck out the old power steering fluid, then fill it up with new fluid. Start the engine and run it for 15 seconds. Then repeat the swap procedure until they've used up a whole quart. And here's an important tip. Always use the same type of power steering fluid recommended by the OEM. Never put additives or products that claim to stop leaks because they can clog the fine mesh filters in your steering system and lead to a very expensive failure. Many vehicle manufacturers recommend a complete brake flush every 2 years or 24,000 miles. Now, you can't do a complete brake fluid flush yourself, but what you can do is a fluid swap. It won't completely replace all the old fluid with fresh fluid, but it will introduce a new fluid. To begin with, suck out the dark brown fluid using a base, then refill the reservoir with new brake fluid. You want to drive the car a week to allow the new fluid to mix with the old. Ever spill oil on your driveway or garage floor? It's easy to clean it up by pouring sawdust on it. Sawdust will soak up the oil in about 20 minutes, so then you can just sweep it up afterward. Here's another easy tip. Use a chalk marker to write the dates when you last changed your oil or air filter, spark plugs, and so forth. You want to write them under your car's hood on a flat surface, and the chalk marker will wash off with ammonia-based cleaner. Well, there you have it. These are easy car maintenance things almost anyone can do, but always refer to specific installation instructions on your original car owner's manual for detailed steps. But now you tell me, do you have any funny or horror stories or any success stories on any do-it-yourself jobs you've done yourself? Please comment below and share. If you like this episode, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for your support.